you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk on this very important topic. Um, as I listened to the previous speaker, I thought about my own life and what my family and I also suffered. When I was only 6 years old, my grandfather was assassinated. It was the use of a gun. It wasn't an atom bomb, but it was the use of a gun. In 1993, my 24-year-old son was also killed with a gun. And I haven't been able to talk about this for many years because it brings up a lot of emotions. And I can understand how the Hibakushas are feeling today and from 70 years ago. So when we think about this, it's a matter of degree. How many people were affected by the atom bomb? But the deed itself, the violence that took place, is exactly the same as the one I suffered and the one that the people of Hiroshima and Nagasaki suffered. So it's about violence, and it's about how we look at conflict. As Dr. Bentley has said, we cannot just disregard the fact that in the world there are many conflicts. There are many misunderstandings between people. There are many things that drive human beings to want to use violence in order to solve problems, to assert themselves in order to solve problems. But what I want to say here today is that Gandhiji taught us that there is another way. You don't have to use violence in order to solve problems. And there are two countries that have taught us. They might not have succeeded fully, but they have taught us that there is this other way. In India, India was able to attain its freedom without the use of violence. South Africa was able to attain its independence without the use of violence. When Nelson Mandela decided, earlier on he had decided to use violence to be part of the Umkhonto we Sizwe, which was an army of the people and fighting a just war. But later on, he saw the destructive aspect of violence, of the use of violence, because he saw that the Afrikaner people or the white people in South Africa were part of South Africa. They were South Africans, like the rest of us. All the shades, different colors, we are all South Africans. We were born in that country. That is our country. And we have to learn to live together. How do you learn to live together? And this is what Nelson Mandela spoke about. He said that for many years, when apartheid was part of South Africa's policy, people were taught to hate other people. They were taught that white people are superior and that other people are inferior. And this is how the community in South Africa looked at each other. In the same way as the world today looks upon different peoples as different, as there are lots of aspects, diversities in the world. You belong to a different religion, and because you belong to a different religion, I'm not prepared to accept you. Or you belong to a different race, and therefore I'm not prepared to accept you. And it goes on like that. There are lots of diversities. None of us are exactly the same as other people. And as Religions for Peace has spoken many times over, let us accept the other. The other are different people. Let us accept them. Let us begin to understand them. Let us begin to see them as our brothers and sisters. And that's where the difference from using violence to solve your problem and using a more ethical, moral way of saying, these are my brothers and sisters. They may be different, but let's begin to look at how we can live together. Today, you see that the world has become a very small place. In the past, communication was difficult, and people lived in isolation in the different countries. There was no, knowledge of each other. Today, with the communication systems that we have, we know the entire world. Even if we do not travel to every part of the world, we know about them because news gets across, because we have internet, because we have telephones, and we can communicate with people. So the globe has become small in the sense that we are able to communicate and know each other. And it is now that we can begin to learn about each other. We can begin to accept that maybe they are different views, but that doesn't mean that you have to kill them because they have different views. We can get together and find a way of living together. And this is what we have to embrace. Now, Gandhiji said, and he showed us, that there is a weapon far superior to the atom bomb, and that is satyagraha. Satyagraha is about non-cooperation with evil, where you can get people, we can mobilize people, get the people together, and do not cooperate with evil. If you use that weapon, you can attain what you want to attain. And many people have shown us this throughout the world. By using this kind of peaceful means of bringing about change, you can attain what you have set out to attain. And in that, there are just two things. One is what you want to attain justifiable? And that is what one has to sit and think about. Is this what I want? Is it justifiable? If I want something that is going to deprive millions of people, then it is not justifiable. And this moral compass is something that religious communities need to spread into, into the world. And then to look at how we can use nonviolence as a means to bring about the change. I thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, and I hope that we are going to all get together and move to bring about changes in the world. Thank you.